Hey everyone, it's me Caitlin and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a super sped up video of creating Tamatoa for my planner. I'm going to use my little Tombow glue runner, maybe all of the washi, maybe these sequins, and those are the swatches of the colors I'm using, maybe glitter, and yeah. So first what I'm going to do is I am going to actually tape these together so I can keep it pretty steady when I'm trying to redraw Tamatoa on my planner. Believe it or not, this is not going to be the final look. There is going to be some special little features. I was almost tempted to just leave him like this and just make it a black and white image, but I decided I wanted to go a little bit further, and I am utilizing a technique that I used in the beginning of the year in order to preserve some of the space in my planner. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to create little flaps basically to help maintain the structure of the planner. So what I'm doing now is I am trying to sketch out as best as I can his shell, and then I'm going to cut the paper down so I can start making the flaps. It seems slightly redundant to have the outline of Tamatoa on the page already, but the reason I did that is so that I could ensure that what I was retracing was going to match up correctly and I wasn't going to go overboard. So again, you see me tracing the little slips of paper, and this is so I know what I'm going to be covering in washi. Like I said, it seems really redundant, but in order to maintain my sanity as best as possible, this was the best option. I am definitely more than aware that there was easier ways of doing this, but at this point I was already committed and I wasn't about to go and change it, otherwise I was going to drive myself nuts. So it took me a little bit to figure out what washi I wanted to use, but I actually decided to use this washi that I actually got from the Target dollar spot. It has a really cool texture, and I thought that would be great for Tamatoa's shell, because at this point I decided that I wasn't going to use the sequins. He was already going to be really big based off of my measurements, so adding any more bulk wasn't going to make this any nicer. Honestly, it took me forever to get this washi done. So I wound up having to cut the video, and here is with it almost done. So you can see that the washi actually worked out pretty well. It has a pretty cool texture, and I painstakingly cut these pieces like no tomorrow. But a cool little tip if you decide to do something like this is I realized that the sticky part of the washi will pick up on the pencil lines, so it makes cutting the pieces a lot easier. If you're lucky and you find a good washi where you can pick up multiple pieces in one shot, it'll definitely make that so much easier. But if you can't, then each individual piece will at least have the pencil marking so you know what you're cutting. So right now it actually looks pretty cool, so it's a pretty good start. And at this point I am trying to create the joints for the flaps. So what I do is try to measure out as best as possible. I think I measured out each piece at a ½ inch. And then I used my runner and glued that down. So it's actually pretty cool. So not only do you preserve all the space in your planner, you have a movable element. Oh, and this was the point I actually ran out of the glue, so I had to go back and fix that. At this point I decided, for some reason, I felt like starting to color. I really don't know why I decided to just arbitrarily do that, other than I was going insane. To put this into perspective, the amount of footage that I actually had was 2 hours, and that's not even including the extra time it took to put down the washi on the paper, have it cut out, and even get to this point. So he took a really long time. Working on him for so long definitely made me absolutely insane. Alright, so Tamatoa is basically done at this point. Just adding in a few little features, I guess you could say. Finishing up the last bit of coloring. And he's not terrible. He could be better, but he's not terrible. He is a lot more intense than I thought he was going to be. But I like him. Here's kind of a little demo of how everything works out as I'm trying to erase the additional pencil lines. And I don't know if I show it on here, but I did actually decide to lay down some paper to kind of cover up the other areas and to try and keep it cleaner. So here is Tamatoa in all his glory, and now I'm going to start to write in some of my plans. He seriously had me so frazzled that I couldn't remember what I needed to put down, so I only put down the very few things that I could remember. And yeah. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you like my crazy little Tamatoa. I will definitely be trying to recreate him again at a later point with a considerably different method, but I definitely like him. He's a little crazy. See you all in the next video. Bye!